One player I don't think a lot of people are ready for in the NFL is Jalen Rivers. And let me just play this, okay? It's a 4 second segment. It's Cam Sample versus Jalen Rivers. You know who Jalen Rivers is? He was our 5th round draft pick this year. And to be honest, he is considered a Swiss Army knife. He can be utilized in any way possible. They've said he obviously got drafted for left tackle, but he can play left guard, center, right tackle, anything. Kind of how Cody Ford is, same concept. And to be honest, for, first couple days of training camp, he's actually holding his own pretty well here. A really great rep versus Cam Sample. Now, this is not the first time we've heard very positive things about Jalen Rivers. He has been talked up greatly by a lot of our coaches, including Scott Peters, when it comes to how good he has looked. So again, something we really need to look into is fixing this offensive line, making sure this offensive line works out as well as possible. And Jalen Rivers could be that answer, as Lucas Patrick right now is hurt. Cody Ford would be the immediate starter if Patrick is not, available. But then we also have Jackson Carman. But Jalen Rivers is also up there on that list of players that, who knows, maybe he ends up being the guy. Again, like I said, we had to wait and see on this one, but we need a diamond in the rough. And I think that's really what this comes down to. We need a guy this year, and I tried to pull up his, profile, and this is all I'm getting. What is going on here, bro? Okay, well, I tried to pull up his profile, but PFF does not have his profile anymore. But as I was saying, no, we need a guy, especially the offensive line position, who is a diamond in the rough. Someone who we don't really talk about much. We didn't really think about going into this season he was going to be the guy or be that great. This could be an opportunity. So, in college, he did play a total of 5 years at Florida for the Miami Hurricanes. And yeah, again, I'm not trying to overhype one singleized clip. Because again, you do have to do more than just one singleized clip. But if you have heard anything about this guy, he has been talked up and down the wall from a bunch of different coaches in the Bengals facility. So it's someone who, hey, listen, you're a 5th-round draft pick, doesn't mean crap. At the end of the day, if you go out there, you bust your butt, you do everything you're supposed to do, you contribute, you show off, and you show how good you are, it doesn't matter if you're a 5th-round pick or a 1st-round pick. If you're good enough, you're going to get a starting job. You're going to get play time. You're going to show something, you're going to get rewarded for it. That's pretty much just how it is in the NFL. And a guy like this, who again can be a diamond in the rough, hopefully it works out very well, and we just need anyone who can protect our quarterback. I mean, listen, bro. Last year, I was at a point where I was like, let's just go ahead and, put out the Mike card, okay? Put the Mike card out there and see if he can block. Because that's how bad it was with Alex Kappa and Cordell Volson. And by the way, Cordell Volson's still on the roster, but you're not going to hear anything about him. I'm just telling you right now. You're not going to hear anything about Cordell Volson this offseason. Probably not. Well, you would hit him maybe in the preseason, but not in the offseason. Like this time period right now, because there's now that his contract is more incentive based, I don't think the Bengals are more amped to put in Cordell Volson and have him as a starter, or not even a starter, as a backup as much. I feel like Cordell Volson might not make the 53-man roster. That's what I'll say about it. Maybe I'm wrong, but now that his contract is incentive-based, and depending on how much he plays is how much the Bengals pay him, I feel like they're going to find a way to just kind of phase him out. Which, again, he's definitely... I would love to see what he does with Scott Peters, but I'm also very excited for guys like this. Jalen Rivers, Jackson Carman for another year, see how he can do. Matt Lee at center, maybe moving, Teddy K to guard potentially. Obviously, Mims has been an absolute unit. Fairchild's been an absolute unit as well. So, we'll see. Maybe everything works out. Maybe we're looking at this and, we'll talk about Jalen Rivers being the best 5th-round pick of all time. Because a lot of these, if you look at the Ravens, and I'm not going to make this video 1,000 minutes long, but if you look at the Ravens, right, this is what they do. They usually get some good offensive linemen later on in the draft, right around this time period, 4th, 5th round, and that's how they build really good offensive lines, is because you get these guys late, you develop them, and then they become superstars, and you're not paying them an arm and a leg. Now, eventually, you might end up letting them go because, they cost too much money. But for right now, at least, you're not. You're paying them. You get 4 years of a pretty good guy who ends up every year getting better and better, and eventually, bam. So, see you guys in the next one, though. Peace out.